Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I wanted to feature a very special orchid in an individual orchid profile because there are some orchids that I just feel deserve their own little spotlight videos, and this is one of them that I just wanted to dedicate a little bit more time to than just mentioning in the What's in Bloom video. So it's sunny at the moment, so I wanted to take full advantage and film this beautiful bloom. So this is the Phalaenopsis Jong's Red Sun. Now this is an orchid that I've been struggling with a little bit for the last year to get to bloom. Now in terms of orchid health, as you can see, it's a super healthy orchid, loads and loads of roots, big leaves. Unfortunately, what this orchid has done for me is produce 4 flower spikes for me this year, and it has refused to bloom from them. What it does is it starts a flower spike, gets about halfway along, and then decides to start a new flower spike. And it's continually done this all year, and I've been despairing of ever actually seeing blooms or buds. However, it started to swell a bud at the end of the most recent flower spike, which you can see here. Just an absolutely stunning, waxy, glossy purple flower. And it's like a purple pink, and it just looks like it's been kind of dipped in oil or some sort of waxy effect, and it's actually starting a new bud just behind there, a very little one. So you can see just this is catching the sun beautifully. I've tried to film it in a way that you can actually see the colour, not just the shine. So this is just in sunlight, and it's just I think the most waxy Phalaenopsis flower, or any flower actually, that I've ever seen. It's so beautiful, and the fragrance is really unusual for a Phalaenopsis. So traditionally with the Phalaenopsis you tend to get like a fruity smell, like from the Bellina. Kind of, for me, the Bellina I detect as a little bit citrusy and sweet. The Violacea, very sweet and cinnamony. Other Phalaenopsis tend to have that kind of citrusy scent maybe, or inherit the kind of cinnamony sweet fragrance from the Violacea. But this is a really unique fragrance I've not smelled on a Phalaenopsis before, which is like almost like a Cattleya, like that kind of slightly spicy, sweet fragrance that's almost on the edge of being too sweet and a little bit, maybe a little bit sickly actually, but it's so intense. And obviously the sun's hitting it at the moment, and it's just filling my whole grow room up with this fragrance. It's kind of kicking me out the room a little bit actually. It's very like a Cattleya, and I've never smelt this on a Phalaenopsis before, so I just wanted to make an individual bloom profile on this absolutely stunning orchid to kind of make it more widely known if it isn't already. So the problems that I've had with this orchid, so it's started many flower spikes for me and then just not finished them. However, we're kind of getting towards the end of summer. The weather's cooling down just a little bit, and it's actually started, see if I can move this without kind of the aerial roots getting too much in the way. It's got one flower spike there, and it had another flower spike here. I don't know if you can kind of see. Something's happening at the very end. I think that it might be thinking about starting a bud. Got another flower spike under this leaf and through here. It's there. It's kind of a difficult one to manoeuvre actually, because it's got so many very long aerial roots. Isn't it just the most beautiful, waxy, stunning orchid that you've ever seen? And I just kind of wanted to make this video quickly to feature it while we had some sunlight and tell you a little bit about it, because I'm super excited that it's bloomed finally. And it's a shame almost that it's so intensely waxy and shiny and glossy, because you almost actually can't see some of the finer details in the flower. Let's try and focus in on it a little bit. But yeah, it's just too, I think, glossy to actually pick up some of the finer details, which are that it's kind of got areas where it's more of a purpley pink, so like along the petals here, and then along the sepals you've got almost a more dark, almost like a magenta. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't think there's any possible way to film this. I've been trying to take pictures of this for a while under both natural and artificial light, and it just doesn't come out in photographs, or it comes out a little bit better on film, but still, you can almost see that little the purple / hot pink stripe kind of along here, and then the darker colouring here. You can see it a little bit better in the light. Yeah, I just wanted to make that video filming this guy. In terms of care, I give it the same care as all my species Phalaenopsis. It's a more complex species hybrid, so it's got several different species in the parentage, and I will put a link to its Orchid Roots profile down below in the description. But it's quite a moisture loving one, so I treat it just the same as all my other Phalaenopsis species, so it's in semi-hydro with leca. And I wondered almost if I was providing too much fertiliser and nutrients, and that's why it kept starting spikes and aborting them and starting spikes and aborting them. But now finally we are getting some buds and it's been getting the same treatment. So I wonder if it's just that it was just in such like active growth that it was just throwing spikes out left, right and centre. It wasn't actually the time of year that it blooms in. So maybe it does bloom. Maybe it's got some of those species in its parentage where they bloom when the weather starts cooling a little bit, so potentially that could have triggered a bloom, or it could have just been that it finally kind of got to the end of its growth cycle and decided to do something with some of these spikes that it had formed. It's quite an unusual trait for like one of the more species phals. Usually they just bloom quite easily throughout the summer, but this one, yeah, it's proved a little bit more tricky, but it's just absolutely stunning. I'm just going to bring you in a little bit closer to it. You can see the sun's kind of shifting round, so maybe you're actually getting a slightly better view of the colour. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I love the shape of it. It's a very big flower actually, so this is quite large compared to, for example, the Samira. You kind of see the size comparison. So this one's quite a big flower compared to this one. Just absolutely stunning. If you see it, I would definitely recommend buying it because it's such a rewarding, beautiful glossy bloom. I've never seen a orchid this glossy before. I hope that you found this video interesting, and I wouldn't probably usually do an individual bloom profile on just one orchid. I'd usually probably wait till the What's in Bloom video at the end of the month, but I just felt that this special orchid warranted its own video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know if you want to see more kind of in-depth individual videos down below, or whether you are kind of rather see the end of the month everything all together. I probably will still end up putting this in the What's in Bloom video. I don't really have a definitive kind of set of rules for what I put in those at the moment, whether I feature them in previous videos or not, but that might need to change. So let me know down below what you think, and thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then give it a like or subscribe to my channel for more regular orchid updates, and I will see you guys later. Bye!